Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the DCKAP eSessions 2021. This is the one for March. We're going to have a special showcase for Midland Scientific and all the work that went behind that, including some of the technology partners that were integrated into the e-commerce site. My name is Tim Deep. I'm the host for today. I'm the customer success manager for DCKAP. Been with the company for about 8-9 years now, and just been leading events on a monthly basis ever since COVID happened, which has been over a year now. And we've really taken the advantage of just really hosting these events online rather than on site now. So today we have a really good session, and hopefully you guys are able to take lots of notes and enjoy. I'd like to thank our sponsors for this event. These are the guys that you'll be hearing later today with a short presentation. So we have Midland Scientific, we have Avalara, we have Nexcess, Magento, and DCKAP Cloras. So I'd like to bring up Catherine Sulskis. She works with the marketing team at DCKAP as the partner manager, bridging connections, finding ways to co-brand and co-market our solutions, and building lasting relationships with our partners. She works to ensure that our partnerships add value to the community and to expand the partner ecosystem. I'd like to bring her up. She's going to do a deeper dive into integration and B2B features, along with all the presenters, and then we'll also bring up Effie from Magento. So welcome.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah, I'm happy to be moderating the panel with our partners and guests today and continue to discuss the discussion on our solutions, the successes with Midland, some B2B strategy, and the benefits of the integrated e-commerce experience. A lot of great points have been made in the presentations and going over the solutions. Thanks again to everybody for that. And I'll be asking our guests some questions and then opening it up for some further conversation. So we're going to have Haritha stay on with us, and then I'll kindly invite Rodrigo from Midland Scientific, Maria from Avalara, Gary from Nexcess to come back on with us. And as Tim mentioned, we do have a great special guest, Effie Shabtai, Customer Success Manager from Magento Adobe, who will be joining us to contribute to the conversation. Effie comes with 14 years of experience working with enterprise clients in her role as Operations Manager at Magento Commerce. Today, she stands at the position of a senior account manager and handles 120 plus enterprise accounts in the Midwest West. Her experience comprises a detailed understanding of customer relations, license consulting services, upselling annual multi-year license retention. Welcome, Effie. We're really happy to have you and looking forward to our conversation. All right, so I'm going to start with some questions, and I'm going to go back over to Haritha first. So I'll start with asking you, just further on the project, when it comes to the customer experience, what are you most proud of accomplishing on the Midland Scientific project? And then perhaps you can expand a bit on how integral the migration of Magento 2 was.
Thank you, Kathy. That's what a good question. So regarding the customer experience, I'll talk a bit about it. So there are many features built with the website that we are, happy about accomplishing. So one thing that always strikes my mind will be the customer registration and the company structure. So which is one of the large customization we implemented. So we have customized, the wide range and to talk about a bit about the customer structure, so it is more or less like, the administrator will be on the main level, and then managers will come and, users will be present. So we have customized this functionality to provide them the purchase limit while placing the order. So the user can able to place an order using the pay on account, which is a special payment method we have provided them. So let's say if the purchase order is exceeded with their order amount, so what we'll do is we'll just suspend the order and we'll notify them to the managers, and managers can able to review and edit the orders, and they can approve it. So once the order has been placed, this will be synced back to the P21. So overall, we have done an end-to-end integration right from PIM to Magento and from Magento to P21. So also there is some bidirectional sync from P21 to Magento also. So, once in a while we'll update the products from Akino, and the product pricing and inventory will be synced from P21. So this provide them more flexibility. This serves as an integral part of migrating from B2B seller to Magento 2.
Great. Yeah, thanks for expanding on that. I think that's helpful to kind of go over some of the specifics there. And then additionally, we've heard some of the higher level points on Cloras in your presentation, and the ways that it can help simplify and automate. And could you just expand a little bit more on that, such as the systems it supports?
Yeah, sure, Catherine. So, Cloras is a middleware solution that connects the application end to end. So it has potential to manage and automate data synchronization across multiple systems, with great security, and provide the seamless integration for cross-platform. So it provides a wide range of integration with respect to ERP, e-commerce, and CRM, and many other systems have been successfully integrated. So far, there are about 100 customers we have integrated over these years, and so we have some pre-built connectors and templates readily available. So whenever the sign up has been done, we can easily get it on board. One other thing is that user interface, which provides more workflow visibility for the customers, so that will provide the workflow, and real-time experience can be provided. So we have connected over e-commerce channel with Magento 1 and 2, BigCommerce, Shopify, and all that. So with respect to ERP, we have connected P21, NetSuite, Acumatica, and Epicor Prelude and all. And with CRM, we have connected with integrated with HubSpot, Salesforce, and Pronto. Yeah, over to Kat.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, certainly a lot of different things that can be automated altogether, which is one of the great points of it. Thank you so much, Haritha, for contributing to that. And Rodrigo, I would love to go over to you, and I wonder if you might tell us a little bit more about your experience with DCKAP and implementing Magento Commerce and integrating P21 using Cloras. Could you explain some of the benefits and highlights and what you think might be the best features of that?
Sure. Yeah. So our implementation process was really long. I think it took like a year for us to go over everything and like be ready. Mainly because we had a lot of customizations already implemented in our previous ERP, and were the type of features that it was required to be part of the new platform, because we had a lot of important customers using, and that created like a lot of challenge during the implementation. And we had a lot of requirements, and they have a lot of details. And one of the things that I asked DCKAP since the beginning of the implementation was to have daily meetings with the development team. I think that kind of surprised DCKAP, for like the customers would demand all of that attention, but it was one of the reasons that our implementation was successful. Just meeting every day and making sure that all of our requirements were understood by the DCKAP team, and reviewing and testing the platform was something that made like a huge difference on our implementation. And I think what one of the characteristics also that the DCKAP team had was being able to adapt. A lot of the times because we didn't know Magento that well, we had something in mind and we had to change. So we kind of have like a similar implementation, like using the agile method, where you have to review your requirements and adapt and change all the time. And the DCKAP team was always able to listen to us and explain what had to be changed, and being able to adapt to the requirements. And meeting every day for a year was like something that we value a lot. The DCKAP team was able to do that with us. And sometimes we had to test things like at night and meet again in the morning and work over the weekend. So not all the partners were agreed to do something like that for your customers. So something that we appreciate a lot that the DCKAP team did for us. And talking like more about Cloras, it was one of the main reasons that we chose DCKAP. Integration is something when we're talking about like a PIM system and a ERP system and all our different softwares that you have information and you need to make that available to the customer, find a solution that would be able to just offer all of that to you in a place that you can see and you can manage was great. It was amazing. And even like notifications is something that DCKAP ended up changing and adapting the solution for us because of some of our requirements. And it's something that is really valuable for us because users are really creative. It's really hard to predict how they're going to act and how they're going to interact with your site. And in being able to just receive a notification if something fails like right away and just act on top of that and change the platform and fix the problem, sometimes in a matter of minutes, it's great. It's just something that we didn't have before. And after 6 months using the system and also being able to change and adapt to new requirements, it's been great for us. So we couldn't be more than happy on this using Cloras. It's a great software. And it's just being able to expand and receive notifications and monitor and being able to see if something is going wrong. It's great. And we are also using that. We had cases that we had an issue in our network and we started receiving a lot of alerts from Cloras just because something was wrong on our side, nothing related to what DCKAP did. It's been great. So we are finding new ways to monitor our system and other pieces of our network as well. So it's been
great. That's always great to hear. And certainly, along with our partners as well, taking care of clients are certainly priority to make sure that everything that we provide for solutions is working as needed. And then if you could also just let us know what you think are the benefits of using multiple development environments from the hosting company instead of using local development environments.
Sure. Yeah, I can definitely talk about that. So we start with local environments, and we were having a lot of headaches trying to manage hardware and making sure that all the local environments had the same resources and the same information. And also search is something huge for us. We have, as I said, almost 400,000 products, and being able to index all of the product and making sure that all the local environments also had a search engine. So we were spending a lot of time on things that were not bringing any value to our customers, like just trying to manage with a small team local environments was just slowing down our development process. So we decided to try it out just using Nexcess for that also, and it's been great for us. So now we can just have one main environment that one server having our production site and also our staging site where we do testing before putting code to our live site, and having dev sites. So each developer had their own system, and you had some shared resources like search. All of the dev environments are sharing the same search, so you just need to worry and take care of only one search engine for all the dev sites. And also, because of COVID and also because of office space, we had to just adapt, and we have developers working from anywhere. And sometimes we also have some internal team doing develop as well, not only DCKAP. So sometimes they work from home, sometimes they work at the office, sometimes they have to travel and work from a different place. And not having to worry about the hardware again and just having all that information on the cloud is speeding up our process. So they can basically working from anywhere. And the main thing is just because we had a lot of different dev environments, and the test team was having to just be in touch with each one of the developers and making sure that they were doing the right things. speed up also the testing side, because you can just be in touch with the developer and check their website, and you guys don't need to, our team doesn't need to have access to the local environment anymore. You can just bring up the site from your phone or it's from any desktop, and because it's on the cloud, you get access right away. So.
Yes, great points. And I'd love to bring it over to Gary for you to chime in and maybe elaborate on that. I mean, Rodrigo touched upon obviously improving speeds and simplifying processes, but maybe you can go a little bit further in some of those benefits for us.
Yeah, I mean, Rodrigo really told the story in a way better than I can. I actually kind of harken back to my own experience with an agency. I mentioned it in the presentation, but I'll elaborate on it. Man, it was a headache. We would frequently have developers that worked with the agency that I helped run. And it's like, well, something blew up on our local dev environment. And it happens because that's what you do as a developer, is you are trying to fix things and sometimes trying to break things so that you can understand why they're breaking and so on. And these things can result in unrecoverable errors. And so now you've got a MacBook or a Linux machine and you're just going, well, it's just be easier to start over. And that's 5, 6, 7 hours that, again, if you're the merchant, that's just dead cost. If you're the development agency, you can't bill it or you have trouble billing it. So, here you go. So I think, to be candid, it's something that not a lot of our customers are doing. And I would like, obviously, to investigate that further with you, Rodrigo, because I think it's a great application of what we're doing with the cloud environments. More typical scenarios, just simply like main dev environment, like when you've pushed all the branches up, that's when you use a dev server. So Midland is unusual in how many they have, and I think that's really cool.
Nice. Cool. Well, let's go a little bit further into how B2B operations benefit from e-commerce sites. If they rely on salespeople to answer questions for customers.
Do you want me to tackle that one?
Sorry. Oh yeah, I was staying with you, Gary.
Okay, sure. Again, I'm kind of harkening back to some of my experiences before Nexcess, and again, would like to hear the experiences of others on this. But if you sell something that's a product that gets used in manufacturing, or it's an additive, or it's chemical or something, well, that's not like going onto Amazon and picking it off a shelf. Rodrigo mentioned like the imperative nature of search, because people aren't going with physical descriptions. They're picking up a container perhaps and looking at a part number, and they want to order from that part number. So, if I go onto Amazon and I search for something and I get a lot of amusing, similar suggestions, okay, cool. But if I'm buying B2B, I want to know exactly what I'm getting. So search becomes like super important. But you really, getting back more to your question, even if I can get tons of information straight off the e-commerce site, then I may very well still need a rep. I may need to get on the phone or chat with the company's rep and say, okay, but will this work with that? Or can I customize this? Can I add something to it? And depending on the workflow, which is always just, it's one of the cool things about B2B, is it's always so unique. Just every company's so different compared to like a seller of packaged goods. So, that need for expertise from the reps means that the reps really kind of need to join the customer at the website, as it were, and be able to look at what's going on there. And so it becomes a tool for the sales rep and the customer jointly. I'm old enough to remember carrying a whole bunch of catalogs into sales calls with manufacturing clients. And, I would have loved to have had an iPad and say, okay, well, with this system, you can get this printhead, or, we're out of stock on this, and so on.
Yes. Well, having that increased support is certainly an important part of that. Yeah, thanks for expanding on those ideas. And in regards to B2B, maybe going a little bit with that and going over to you, Effie, and thinking about this project and others perhaps in a similar position looking to start their e-commerce. Tell us why Magento Commerce for B2B and what some of those benefits are.
Yes, thank you. Well, one of the first things, being at Magento for so long, it was really great to see everything evolve from day one, and how so much effort and passion went into all of these projects and making Magento a really, really strong platform. We were one of the first open source platforms that enabled merchants to succeed with scalability and flexibility. With being open source, you have that opportunity to create and innovate to what your business needs are and to be able to structure things that way. In B2B, allows sellers, to offer their clients a variety of things. Overall, better service, attracts new customers, and transitioning everyone into this new technology that we're in and this new ecosystem of, no more faxing orders or, kind of moving away from that. So Magento is really trying to encourage everyone to stay up to date with technology and be able to grow their business on both the B2C level and a B2B level in one platform. There's a lot of features that are available that could be really useful to our merchants as far as just policies, procedures, approvals, workflows. So there's a variety of things that could be very beneficial to all B2C merchants.
Awesome. Yes, I mean, it's certainly something that, they'll need to consider in taking a venture like that. And knowing that you guys are there for support and have that experience is certainly helpful, I'm sure, to them. And maybe you can expand a little bit further too in just your experience. What are some of the biggest pain points that you've seen in the B2B market, perhaps specifically, and how Magento can help solve those pain points?
Yes, and one of those things, the biggest thing is being open source. So with a B2B module that is included in Magento, it is completely open source. So you're able to modify it to your business needs, to your clients' needs, how you work with distributors. So, and kind of, again, moving away from the faxing, making EDI a little bit more easy flowing and easier to work with. And I think that is the biggest strength of the B2B market today and how Magento can help with that. Since we manage or we help so many different types of B2B businesses that have, a large variety of SKUs, that have different workflows, different purchasing procedures, there is that flexibility to be able to, to kind of create the workflow based off of certain levels and what the company wants to see as far as how the workflow works for them.
Right, having that kind of that flexibility and openness. Great. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and go over to Maria. I wanted to touch base with you back on to some tax challenges. And perhaps you can talk a little bit about what the biggest tax challenges you see for manufacturers are.
Thanks, Catherine. I mentioned that a little bit during my presentation, but I think the biggest challenge for manufacturers right now is just understanding what their tax requirements are. Well, two things. One is understanding that Nexcess footprint that we talked about. Where do you really, according to the new laws, need to be registered to collect and remit tax, and then getting registered? The second thing is moving online. It's exactly what we've been talking about. We need to move more of our business online. We're adding B2C, and we need to make that transition and the purchase process so much easier for both our B2C customers and our B2B businesses. And we need to move that B2B process to online. It's no longer sustainable to go out with your stack of catalogs, Gary, out to someone's office. That's just not going to happen anymore. So I really think people hesitate to move B2B online when really that's what our B2B buyer wants. So.
Yeah, definitely. With lots of things changing in the industry and the way that people are just shopping online, businesses are shopping online.
Yeah, and tax compliance shouldn't keep you from doing that, right, Rodrigo? It's not a reason to not go online. It's not.
That's true.
Right. Well, going off of that, then, Maria, what would you say are the biggest barriers to moving more businesses online?
Well, the fear, I think, of what's out there. We hear a lot of fear of connecting to their platforms. Rodrigo added to P21, where people have a fear of connecting the cloud to their platform. So I think there's a lot of data security and maybe just fear of unknown. What's that experience going to look like? How much work is that going to take? You know, that's what we've been talking about for the past couple of hours. But, you know, what is the process for doing that? I don't know how to do this. And so I think people get sort of stuck in moving forward because of all these things. But there are people, there's a bunch of us on the call here to help walk you through each piece of that and create the experience that you want for your customers. I always tease my customers that, yes, we're going to connect CertCapture certificates to our website like Midland has, but my web developer might not be a tax expert. But don't worry, we've got people that will help you get both your web experience, your tax compliance, your ERP. You know, there's a team of people that do understand this and can walk you through it and are doing it every day. So I think it's really fear that I see a lot of.
It's a great.
You know, maybe cost, but I think at the end of the day, Rodrigo, I'm sure, can vouch for this, that their sales have been increased. So there will be a return on your investment, we promise.
That is always important, of course. All right, great. Well, that's basically the question portion that I wanted to go through with you guys. What I would actually love to do is just step away a little bit from direct questions and just ask for maybe some more thoughts and experiences or personal stories and some insights around sort of the main topic that we've been speaking about, which is the importance of integrated e-commerce in B2B. And Maria, since you just spoke about, you know, some of these barriers, you know, when businesses are facing when moving online, perhaps you can start by expanding on that and talking about how tax compliance might pertain to the idea of the integrated experience. Of course.
In addition to what we've already talked about, but you know, you do have to connect. You have to think of tax compliance as connected to everywhere that you do create an invoice. And again, Rodrigo has Magento on P21. It's not just an online requirement. It's not just an e-commerce requirement. States do require that you report all of your transactional information. So when you look at a solution for anything, it needs to be a centralized solution that doesn't just cover e-commerce. It covers everywhere else. So you also create invoices, sometimes even quoting. A lot of people do quotes and they require their tax calculation there. So you might have a quoting tool, a CRM. So you need to think of all the platforms where you might create an invoice or a quote that tax determination needs to be made. So definitely want to connect all of those, not just one. It doesn't work with just one. Also, you can't do this with just your taxable sales. People always want to do that. Well, can't I just do my taxable sales? No, tax compliance covers all of your sales. So.
Hey, Maria, hearkening back again to my experience as a rep, CRMs and reps get put in some tough spots when it comes to tax. And I could see tax compliance software helping with that, because when I found that a lot of my customers in other industries insisted they were tax exempt, but they're not. And so it's really helpful to be able to put up the criteria. It said, okay, well, you're tax exempt as long as you can provide this documentation. Here's our handy process, like you describe on the checkout process. Here's our handy process to give us that paper so we can prove you're tax exempt.
Yeah, and every sale is taxable sans that proof. That's just guys. There's no honor system here. It's taxable or you have proof. Yep. And here's our handy system to provide that proof. I like that.
Yeah, and just adding to that also, I think one of the things that we see on our customers is that when they are having a relationship with our company, they're expecting to have the same experience. It doesn't matter how they reach out to you. If they call you and they want to talk about their taxes exemption in just one state, they want to have the same experience if they go to our website and check that information as well, if they send you an email and ask that question in a different way. So having all the systems integrated is something that makes a huge difference when you talk about customer experience. So you have the information saved on your ERP, and the customer expect that to see when they go to shop on your site. So having all the systems communicating and offering the same experience to the customer is something that is really important when you talk to B2B. Because in our case, we deal with corporations. So you have a lot of users that expect to see the same information related to their company, and they're going to reach out to you in a different way. Some of them are going to prefer to call. Someone are going to prefer to send an email. Someone is going to prefer just to access the website and not have to interact with anyone. And when you don't have all of the information integrated and offering the same experience, it makes really challenge for your business. So that's why I think one of the reasons that is really important for us that we are a small team having partners that are specialized in different areas. So when I said that I don't know a lot of taxes, our accounting team knows way more than me, and just me being on IT and not having to be specialized on taxes is really important for us. So we rely on Avalara to just take care of all of our business challenges in terms of taxes, but also looking for new trends and being able to adapt to the new regulations. And the same apply for hosting and for other areas. So I think that's why it's really good for us to have partners that take care not only of our current requirements, but are looking for new things that are coming up as well.
Yeah, that's a great point for sure. And, having those partners available, like you said, is certainly an integral part of that, making sure that the customer experience is as best as it can be. And maybe Effie, you'd have some contribution as well to that, to the integrated experience.
Yeah, so one of the great things in regards to also tax is that Magento has a quick order form. So once somebody places a quote or wants to get pricing on specific items, they can see, in addition to the taxes, on what they will be charged, what the total is going to look like. So they have full transparency, what to expect. And then, they go ahead and they'll be able to place the order through the workflow that they're allowed. So in regards to taxation and how that works, that's also something that is really helpful to a lot of companies to have that transparency through the ordering system.
That's great to know. Certainly that kind of information can be very helpful as well. And then maybe Haritha, if you have some contribution on the integrated experience you wanted to expand on a little bit.
Sure, Catherine. So one of the main motive for integrating the whole website, so it is for creating the omni-channel experience for the customer. So I believe that we have created that kind of shopping experience for the customers. So they are distributed all over the world, and on a single click, all the information will be present on their ERP. So by using our product Cloras and the PIN system Cameo, and with the integration with Magento 2 as a e-commerce platform, so all these are integrated, and it provides a great feature for the customers. So they'll be happy to see whatever the changes that are made offline and online as well. So that is one key benefit that can be provided from getting the whole site as integrated.
Great. Sorry, I think there was a little bit of noise in your background there, but yeah, for sure, having that integrated experience, like you said, with everything being connected with ERP included, certainly some great benefits to that. And I'm going to go ahead and end this part of the session and go ahead and bring Tim back on board for us for if there's anything additional in questions.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for a great presentation. You guys are the superstar team, just really showcasing the whole process of bringing Midland Scientific with their e-commerce website. So thank you guys so much for your time. And thank you again for all the sponsors from Midland Scientific, from Avalara, from Nexcess, Magento, and Cloras. Without you guys, this presentation, this e-session wouldn't be possible. So thank you guys once again for all your help and your contribution to this. And then just mark it on your calendars. The next DCKAP e-session will be on April 13th. And this will be in regards to ADA compliance. So that's another hot issue within the B2B market. So, but that's all I have here. Thank you guys so much for your time. And hopefully you guys have a great day and stay safe out there. So we'll see you guys. Have a good one.